There was one moment a long time ago that I remember very well that I left a very big impact on my family. I was working in sales operations and we were waiting for customer orders to come in, and I couldn't go home for Christmas. And it's not like we're talking a Friday night dinner, this is Christmas. And the whole family is sitting around the table and I'm the empty chair. The kids looked at it and were so disappointed because I wasn't there. And by the time I arrived, they had already started opening the presents, and it was one of those moments that just leaves a deep impression on you. And you realize, is this really worth it? Is this job really worth it? Missing these precious moments with your family. "17 years ago, when I moved here to Norway, I couldn't find a job no matter what I did. For over 8 months, I couldn't get one single interview. And then a professor at a university shared a little bit of advice, and within 5 weeks, I had 34 interviews. After I found a job, I realized I had an entirely new approach to looking for jobs, and I started helping friends. Word caught on to the school that I graduated from, and then they asked me to come in and run these workshops for them. And I did this for 16 years as a hobby. I was still in the corporate world. The moment when I decided to be an entrepreneur, I was in India at the foothills of the Himalayas trying to sell software at a factory, and there was no air conditioning, 116 degrees. And as I looked around, I realized that, what am I doing here? I'm in the middle of nowhere. I feel lost. And it really started to sit with me as we took the 4-hour drive back on this dusty road all the way back to the airport. That's when I asked a colleague of mine to take a picture of me outside the terminal, because I wanted to remember this moment of being so far from home, but at the same time, having such clarity and knowing what it is that I was going to do when I got home. And that's when I handed in my resignation letter and then walked out in order to start my own business. I started to look at consulting jobs, and within 2 weeks I had 5 major assignments, which at that point just confirmed that I can create value on my own. So my business was break even for about 1.5 years, and I was offered an opportunity to come in and do a consulting assignment inside of a tech company that was just starting off. And after working with him for a few days, he made an offer, said, "Ian, please come and work full time." And he started throwing all sorts of benefits and pulling me in. I was just so close to saying yes and quitting from being an entrepreneur. And when my wife heard that I was thinking about this offer, she said, "Ian, this is the stupidest decision you'll ever have made." So that's when I decided to decline the offer, which was really hard to do. And 6 weeks later is when the business 4x'd itself. In those 6 weeks, I pivoted the business to focus on the customer instead by using the Ask method and doing a survey to understand the customer's need. What did they want me to solve for them? And then I changed a little bit of copy on the website and how I positioned the product, and that's all I needed to do in order to see the business increase 4x in just 6 weeks. I would have never known how close I was to the break even, the profitable point, and then 4xing. And every day is like that. You never know what in the next 2x opportunity. So you just constantly improve. And that's why I just couldn't quit, because I could have been 4 weeks away from a successful career as an entrepreneur. And I would have never known that had I quit and gone back to the corporate world.